Feel safe. Yes, Lord. To be positive, be building a positive community. What's going on, people? Let's get it in. Listen, as you log in, light your fire. It represents your power that you have been given. This is the Mighty Monday Meltdown 2.0 Monday Motivation, broadcasting live from YouTube. A lot that took place, man. Y'all work with me, okay, today. Now listen, I gotta explain a few things, but I'm getting ready now. I'm sure we're gonna have to catch fire. I lead from the front. I lead by example. But this is one of those examples today that it doesn't matter when you show up, you just need to show up. And when you show up, it's time to show out. Thank you guys for already making your way. You see the emoji fire jumping in, then I feel safe. Now check it out. Hello, everyone. Peace and blessings. Fire is what I look for. Now, if you see somebody get on this broadcast, we're broadcasting live, right, from the Midwest, but it goes all over the world, right? I was very surprised when I was doing the, I think it's called the analytics, when I was checking the to see who's logging in and, you know, trying to find out where's my ninjas coming from. And to my surprise, we have people joining us from India. We have people from Russia. You have people logging into this broadcast. I think I saw like 3 other countries, right, logging in. And it even gives you a breakdown of the age bracket, right? And I'm just like, this is scary. This is like too scary. I have a big announcement that my staff and my team feel that it's in the best interest of the direction that I'm heading in and that I'm going. And I'm happy to kind of recognize that there's people working on my behalf to help me find a better path so that I can reach more people and my journey and destiny can be fulfilled. This thing does not work if you don't work. This mission and this vision that I was given does not work if it's not working for me. So I'm happy to be in you guys' presence. I'm happy today to join you again for something amazing. I don't know what's gonna take place, but I do know I'm expecting something to take place, right? I believe that we look for bigger, better, greater. In order to get bigger, better, greater, we're gonna have to practice. We're gonna have to practice how to do, what to do, when to do, why we need to do it, and where we need to do it. But most importantly, the time we need to do it. Everyone is not gonna understand you. People are not gonna understand what this broadcast is about. But I would like to start by saying, welcome. This is the Mighty Monday Meltdown 2.0. This is Mental Health Awareness Month. The topic is about mental health. I believe we should be talking about mental health 365 days a year, every hour, every minute that you're breathing here on Earth, the planet called Earth, or whatever planet that you're on. I believe your mental need a tune up. And for some of us, we done tuned out. We done tuned out. We done tapped out, right? And we're not producing what we should. I think also that if we train in the right way, then we will get the right results, right? This is something that it's an inside job. I do have to give some disclaimers. I'm human, just like you, right? I'm on a battlefield called life, just like you. I don't speak or do this broadcast because I feel like I'm better or I'm greater than anyone else, especially someone that takes the time out to communicate with me. Unfortunately, in the life that I have lived up until this point, the path, the support hasn't been the best. The love has not been sufficient, right? It's been more insufficient, right? People they don't express the love that they should express. There's a lot of disappointment and there's a lot of hurt. And I believe that hurt people do hurt people. And one of the things that I never wanted to do is hurt anyone that was around me, whether you was considered to be family or whether you was considered to be friends, whether we was in a relationship of any sort or matter, does not matter. And somehow, some way, it seems like I was hurt. I believe hurt people. And I closed myself down. I'm sure it's not easy shutting yourself out. It's not a good thing to do. I do not recommend it. But it happens. For many of us, we run, right? And I ran. So I'm not going to act like I had it all together. I knew people who had way more and failed much further. I know people who did not have anything and have succeeded in life. Married with children. If marriage was the goal, they succeeded. I know people who didn't have no education and literally living millionaire lifestyles, right? I can call them. I can talk to them, right? I studied them, right? I know people very educated, master's degrees, PhDs, right? Bachelor's, associates, GEDs. And they can't figure it out. They can't figure out why life is dealing them the hand that they've been dealt. Not prepared for life situations and circumstances. People are dealing with divorce, why their husband leave them, why their wife leave them, cheating. These are real live situations right now, you guys. Most of the content that I bring forth is not news-based. I'm not even a news watcher. I don't have unwholesome conversations. I like to have wholesome conversations, things that can help me, that can help others. That's what I search for. That's what I look for. I begin this broadcast by saying that, my team and staff that I'm working with, thank you guys for pressing me, challenging me to bring out the best in me. Without no challenge, there'll be no change. But if you know who I am, I'm AJ the Wildfire. I'm AJ the Wildfire. And I believe that I don't come to agree with the way you think. I come to challenge the way you think. Before I was bringing this broadcast into existence today, I was looking at the settings and I could have turned off the comments. And just when I was finna click off the comments today, just to make sure that I'm able to say what I wanted to say before I get some of my new people, fragile people that never heard me before they was introduced to this broadcast, I was gonna totally shut off all comments. And what do you know? The Spirit speaks to me and said, you've been looking at people act as if they have it all together for so long. You know how to deal with people that's throwing stones at you. I wasn't the one that was chosen for anything, right? But unfortunately, I found something within myself that was a jewel. And with that jewel, I was able to properly prepare myself so that I wouldn't perform poorly. But I also recognize that the people that are around me, or the people that will come on these broadcasts, they will only judge you according to what they see based on who they are. See, we don't see the world as it is. We see the world as we are. But distractions, we are distracted by everything because we assume, right, that everyone is on the same frequency. Everyone is for the same purpose. Everyone feel the same way about the same thing, and we do not. Adonis D. Johnson, is the creator of I Am My Life Coach. I Am My Life Coach is a mental health self-awareness tool. This is Mental Health Month right now. I don't just come on here to broadcast my voice to anyone else other than myself first. And if you can catch the wave, right, then maybe it might work for you, because this thing works for me, right? I Am My Life Coach helps you ground yourself. It keeps you from losing yourself. It keeps you from spinning out of control. It keeps you from trying to observe others. That's why you will have so many people coming on and just throwing things in your life, throwing things that when your eyes read it, it throws what? Your spirit off. And for many of us, we get thrown off based on what we see. It dictates how we feel. But when you know what you know, the more you grow. So I have to continue to push past all the things that I might see. But when I see somebody tampering, and when I see some things that's off, it literally makes me want to go from one point to another point, and in a different mindset, and begin to spiritually warfare, right? There's a spiritual warfare. There's many wars that's going on. There's one physically, there's one spiritually. And I don't want to turn this into a spiritual warfare, but we will recognize that we're passing through. We're passing through. And so for those that jumps on right now, right, I want to make sure you understand there's 3 areas that I like to touch on, 3 areas that I like to focus on. But when I speak to you, we're not having a presentation right now. This is a conversation right now. And I want to let you understand that I speak for personal growth. Personal growth meaning that you're going to have to decide, make the choice for yourself that personal. This has to be personal. The only way that it works is it has to be personal. It has to be personal when it comes to you being a parent. It has to be personal when it comes to you being a brother. It has to be personal when it comes to you being a sister. It has to be personal whether you are the employer or the employee. This has to be personal. Personal in order so that you can have growth. And each one of us has a right to experience growth. But growth wouldn't be growth if you didn't have nobody coming at you. Growth wouldn't be growth if you wouldn't have nobody trying to drag you back down. How do you think you're supposed to get strong? By constantly repeating the exact same thing? No, you're going to have an adversary. And every time I come upon this broadcast, I always have to remember that my adversary can hear me. My adversary can see me, and it fears me. That's why the adversary will always bring things that is not suitable for growth. They will start talking about gay. They will start talking about lesbians. They will start talking about bisexual. They will start talking. They will start cursing. They will start bringing things, right? But that's them. It goes with them. It should not go or affect you. But see, when you have an organic environment, you remember, come as you are. Come as you are don't mean you're going to stay as you are. You see, you come in whatever conditions that you come in, but let's be clear, God accepts you as you are, but he don't really want you to stay in those conditions. The transformation takes place over a period of time. So I had to get that out. Personal growth is definitely my topic. That's definitely my target. That's definitely one of the things that I focus on the most. I want to make sure that that people can walk away with some type of transformation, some type of word. The next area that I like to focus on in my life, and I tell myself this every day, personal development. How can we develop ourselves? That means it has to be personal. It's funny because my team was talking to me about, habits, and they had some questions that they wanted me to answer or ask, like, what can you do on a day-to-day basis that can help you create good habits, right? Or change bad habits. Many of us don't even know what a habit is. Our whole life is a habit. Everything we do is out of habit. People we date is out of habit. The people you like is out of habit. The music you listen to is a habit, right? We're not open for new things. We're not open to be challenged. That's why we find it to be aggressive. That's why we always find ourselves being offended. He's talking at me. He's not talking to me. She's not listening, but yet, how do you know they're not listening? Their ears is connected to them. You guys, personal development is important. So speaking with my team and things like that, everything that I say, everything that I do is geared towards breaking habits. Program. I believe we need to be reprogrammed. Habits are a program. You do not question the program. That is the program. To not question the program is the program. To reprogram a program is to question the why to the what, right? We know what we do, but the question is why? Why do I do this? And when you look at the answer, why do I do this? It accesses the voice of reasoning. And I believe that many of us, we run from the voice of reasoning because we don't want to be questioned. Well, for anybody that kind of know me, right? kind of know me because I'm constantly upgrading, I'm constantly making change, I'm constantly installing new software into my mind. I'm constantly, removing software from my mind, meaning I'm removing the way I deal with people, handle people, as well as the way people deal with me. I'm not that open, I'm not that freely all the time, right? You will be surprised at the results that you will get if you took a different approach in regards to how you handle you. A lot of us, we look at how someone else handles you or how you're being treated. Imagine if you looked at how you treat yourself. You will eat better food. You will get better rest. You will exercise and stay longer, right? You will embrace great conversations. You will shut down conversations that is negative or not producing the right results for you. You will get away from things that will hinder you or hold you or keep you in an area that does not allow you to develop and grow. Adonis Johnson, I really love the spirit of me. I love who I'm becoming, right? And I have to thank many of you for allowing me to enter into a transformation right before you. For those that has been here for over 5 years, just light your fire. I don't care if it's just one person, because one person can stand with me. That's one person that can vouch for me that this thing is real. This is not easy. Nothing is easy right now, right? Especially when it's come down to learning, unlearning, and relearning. So when you recognize what you have learned, what you have learned is to defend yourself. What you have learned is to monitor others. What are you defending yourself from? No one can take from you what you have not gathered in you. And many of us, we haven't done the work inwardly. So what are you protecting right now? Many of us, we walk into situations and circumstances, right? We already been violated. Your heart already been hurting. Your money is not where it should be at right now. Your dreams has been deferred. You're finding the next thing you're looking for to what? Bring forth fulfillment. What am I doing? I'm stripping you. But in order to strip you, you must first identify with where you at right now, right? So I'm still on the beginning. It's still an intro. I have not even entered in. And I want to make sure that the listeners understand, if this does not happen for me, then I don't need it to happen for anybody else, because that's how this works. I went back and forth with my team earlier today on a Zoom. And out of the whole meeting, I really just wanted people to understand. I wanted them to understand the work is important. What we're doing is important. If you understand how important this work is, you'll understand how valuable you are in the role that you play, in the things that you have participated in. Many things has failed because you have not fully operated in your fullest capacity. You have not worked it. It worked you. Your family worked you when you should have been working it. You should have leveled up and allowed your family to level up according to your frequency. But instead, you dumb it down, trickled down, and you just allow yourself to stay stagnant. This ain't just in this type of relationship, any type of relationship, right? Membership, right? Fellowship, companionship, partnership, whatever type of ship that you was on, you did not build that ship. You just rode that ship. And that ship took you wherever it took you. And let me be honest with you. I shoot from my heart. So when you shoot from your heart, one thing I learned about my heart, I'm never wrong when I speak on my own behalf. So let's be clear. When I say I am my life coach, as you say it and begin to say it and become more familiar with it, you're really speaking for yourself. Something many of us has not ever done. And that is, you're never wrong when you speak for yourself. You're only wrong when you speak for someone else, right? This time, let's make it about you. This time, let's put all attention on you. This time, let's focus more on what's the purpose. Why are we here? Let's focus more on the foundation, the infrastructure. Whatever we built up, we can break it down. Let's break it down. Let's take it down. But we got to take it down cautiously. We got to recognize, first off, you know why you put it up, but we need to have just as much energy when it comes down to why we taking it down. You see, many of us, we put walls up because we was hurt. We put walls up because of failed relationship. We put walls up because of communication. We put walls up because we felt we got breached. We got breached and we got tricked. We got bamboozled somehow, some way. Somebody manipulated us, and that hurt brought on disappointment. But I'm here to decree and declare today. Come on now, light your fire on that right there. I'm here. Ain't nobody hurt you. What hurts you is not understanding why. Why did this relationship fail? Why did they lead me down this road? Why did they waste my time? Why did they hurt me when I was everything? Who said you was everything? You had every opportunity to be bigger, better, and greater, and the relationship did not work. So this is the why to the walls going up. But I need today for some of you to find the walls on why they need to come down right now. Sometimes it's hard to be honest with yourself, but I don't know nobody else to be honest with. Today, I got to be honest with myself, you guys. I really have to be honest with myself today, right? Change needs to happen. But the only way change is going to happen at this point, I'm going to have to identify that I continues to be the best me that I can be. But the friend that you finding in me is becoming an enemy for you. What do I mean by this? You see, people they prayed for the God that is taking place in my house, like in my life, like Sister Sonia. They prayed that God will, anytime you pray for somebody, that means you sending the spirit to that individual. And now people have prayed for me, and they prayed to God restore him, God cover him, God protect him, right? And now the God in me is showing up. That's the friend in me. So I'm a friend because you put a God in me, which is a spirit that's in me that somehow serves you. But the spirit you put in me done became the enemy to you, because the spirit in me want more out of you. And you don't want to give more, but the spirit in me is challenging you to give more. But you don't want to give more, and yet you will rather crucify me because I'm not conforming to who I used to be. You wanted something bigger. You wanted something better. You wanted something greater. And now that I done transformed into this individual, putting the spirit on me, right? And now the people that I talk to act like they got a problem with me now, because now I can point out areas in their life that they're not excelling in. They're not prospering in. Now their attitude is all offbeat because, yes, I'm leveled up. Yes, God answered their prayer when it came down to who I am. But they still have to give an account. They still have to give an account to why they're not performing and why they're performing poorly. They're not practicing what it is that they need to release, right? They're practicing based on the fact that I tried this or I did that. Every day is a new day to reset and do something bigger, better, greater. You have a God that don't try to be your God. He is your God. Your God don't try to be your Lord and Savior. He is your Lord and Savior. The only question is, why do we struggle when it comes down to identity? Because it's identity theft. We keep trying to be someone else instead of being yourself, because being someone else is easier. Telling someone else what to do is easier. I don't want to be no one but myself. You guys, this is the realest conversation we about to have. I pray that you're in a great place, good place. God is blocking off a lot of the foolishness. This is, by the way, Mental Health Month. I take this month very, very seriously. I lead from the front. No, I'm not going to give you my whole story, but you're going to get a story today. You're going to get something, right? You're going to get something today out of this, right? Light your fires. Watch this. You see, many of us, what I have discovered, this is called self-discovery, right? Self-discovery is that you want the best, but not prepared to handle the best that you want. Come on now. What am I saying? God giving you everything you want. He gave you hands. He gave you eyes. He gave you ears. He gave you a voice to what? To communicate, to speak. But what happens? You lack something. And what you lack, I'm going to bring it to you today. I have an amazing teaching that's going to go forth today. It's going to help build a foundation. A foundation for who? A foundation for you and everybody that connects to you. One thing about this broadcast, you don't have to be here. You can really get up off of here if you don't want to be here. This is at your own free will. This is volunteer. You here because you believe that this word that you are receiving can make a difference in your today that's going to set the pace for your tomorrow. Come on now. You're going to have to light fire at some point. Something going to have to motivate you. And the only one that can motivate you is really you. That's when you become you. That's when you ready to light your fire. That's your power. That's how you go forward. That's how you get this thing. Well, let's talk about it for a minute. Give me another example, since it seems like I'm all over the place. And no, I don't want to be all over the place. I want to be right in place in order to get my position across, get my position. Why? Because I take my position every time it's time for me to go to battle. I'm on the battlefield. This is the battleground. This ground is called life. Whose life? My life. I'm no longer on the playground. I'm not going to be playing with you. You're not going to be playing with me. We're going to get this work. We're going to make it happen. Well, let's make it happen. There was a scenario I was thinking about. One of the scenarios and trying to bring forth a message is that some people don't know how to swim. They don't know how to swim. And just because you think you know how to swim, what you failing to realize is you're shallow. See, you calling out. The water runs deep, but yet you're shallow. And you want somebody to be deep with you when you swimming shallow. Come on now. What am I saying? It's an inside job. The water is the water, but why are you swimming in the shallow water? Why are you swimming so close to shore? Because you're not ready for what it is that God wants to provide for you. I'm not going to blame somebody else. I'm going to blame where you at right now. I'm going to blame where you at right now, right? For each and every last one of us. Personal development, personal growth. This will be self-empowerment. How do you empower yourself to go deep? How do you empower yourself to deal with the adversary, right? I don't want to keep blaming the devil for everything. The devil is not the problem. The devil can easily be dealt with. Devil don't have no power. The only reason why the devil get power is because you don't know yours. When you don't know how it works, then that's the problem right there. What am I here to do? I'm here to bring forth secrets. I'm here to give you mysteries that could not be given to you. I'm here to crack codes and give you the codes. I was watching Cat Williams special, and one of the things he said is, people don't want to tell this type of secret stuff, but you know me, I'm gonna tell it all. Well, I'm not gonna tell it all, but what I will do is give you little hints. I will point you to things. Everything ain't for everybody. Let's be clear. Let's not be greedy. Some stuff I might say it might be for you. Some stuff I might say might not be for you. It might be for somebody else, right? Let's not take everything, but let's take something from this thing, right? Because somebody connected to you can use it. So again, this broadcast might not be for everybody, but it is for somebody. That's one of my disclaimers: personal development, personal growth, self-empowerment. That's the truth. Let's get back to the swimming thing. Let's be clear. Some people, you can't swim. Some people can swim. Some people are deep. You understand? They're real deep. Some people call me deep all the time. You don't got to be this deep all the time, right? But deep ain't deep to somebody that knows how to swim. Yes, I'm a deep sea diver. I go in and find the person that done been dropped down in hell, that done been dropped to the pit of hell, that done been dropped. I'm the rescue team. I'm the one that comes into your life, come get you out of what you got yourself in. Well, why do you say that, right? Why do you say that? Yeah, you might wanted me for one thing, but God got me on another mission to bring forth another thing out of who? Out of you. Come on now. If I know that I'm a deep sea diver, right, I'm aware of what goes with deep sea divers. See, some of you have to understand that even when you deep, I believe the Invisible Crown Army, you guys, we out at ocean right now. We deep. The Invisible Crown Army is deep. I am my life coach. If you've been here this long up until this point and you understand this broadcast, then you deep. People from Chicago, we deep because we recognize we was brought up in the worstest areas. No support is the support. The system, no system is the system, right? So everything can be rewrote. Everything can be redone. Unfortunately, you got to discover who you are in a place that people don't know who they are, right? Every role that you want to play going to require some practicing. Just because you can swim don't mean that you go into areas you're not prepared for. See, some people will challenge me and say, well, I'm deep. And being that you deep, that don't mean that where you trying to swim at in people's lives, it's sharks that live there. See, you trying to swim in deep water, but sharks live in deep water. And what am I saying? I'm saying some people can't get you out of stuff they ain't never been in. Some people can't get you out of what they never experienced. You can't help someone that need help themselves. You can't teach a person how to be a millionaire and you never had $1 million. I mean, and I'm saying this with humility right now. I have an amazing word that I want to get to. I call it flipping the script. Again, this is Mental Health Awareness Month. I hope you guys can visit the IamMyLifeCoach.com. Visit the shop. You can get a lot of gear. It's located in our store, right? And just send a message to the world that I am my life coach, right? You'll be amazed at how people will stop you based on what they see or what they read when they see you, right? Which is part of the message. It's part of the message. You're a walking billboard. Sister Sonia put up something earlier. We the Visible Crown Army. Why? Because the Visible Crown represents your character and your attitude. So your God can be visible now. Many of us, we can adjust our character. We can modify. We talked about this last week. Modify our character so that we can perform better, right? We can be better if we knew exactly how it worked. Many of us, we lack on how it worked. Today, you guys tune in. I got an amazing message I want to bring forth. I had to get those things out the way. I was running super duper behind due to the fact that the system and the way everything was set up in the studio today just did not work right. It did not work right. And I had to readjust some things just to make sure that I'm here. So I started off by saying that I was talking to my team and what's going to happen within the next couple of weeks, right? Let's just say June. I will come on every other week. And then I will probably do once a month, right? Once a month. But I will have to phase us there because many people are my friends. So I will talk to you. I could talk to you through a chat. We can get on a Zoom call every other day if you like. But to be able to have to come to this studio and come live and give you a background and give you the same setting, because I don't want nobody to be like, oh, where he at? Look at that plane, or he on the beach or somewhere. I mean, I can do lives and I want to live my life. And I thank God that he speaks to me before anybody else do, because if somebody else spoke to me out of order, then it wouldn't work right for me. So I just wanted to give you this heart to heart. I do have an amazing message that I want to give to you. I spoke about discomfort on the 5 o'clock wildfire on Facebook Saturday. That teaching will be uploaded to YouTube. One of the reasons why I have to make some readjustments is because I'm too accessible. And again, I'm loyal to my position. But remember, I say a lot of the times I'm a friend to the friendless. And I'm showing people how to hang in there. And I'm showing people how to get humiliated, but still try to do your job. It's like somebody that might comment below in the comments and they might say some off the wall stuff, right? They're not saying that for me. They're saying that for the people that shows up, right, for me. And truth be told, you live in your own life. You have your own life to live, but we can learn from everybody. Remember in scripture, I gave you the scripture. I'm giving you codes. It says intelligent people like to learn. They learn. Intelligent. People that's not intelligent, they don't learn. The only way to learn is to listen. If you got your pencil and your pad, you're going to need to write down these particular words I'm about to tell you. 1 is called knowledge. 2 is called understanding. 3 is called wisdom. Knowledge, understanding, wisdom. The first one, knowledge. Knowledge is information. Information, right? A lot of the times we need to make sure that the information checks out, right? I believe that one of the things that allows me to be successful in my day-to-day activity, right, is how you start your day off and the things that you do, even if your day is out of alignment, how do you get it back in alignment? And that's based on the information. You're going to have to learn the formula, what plus y equals results. You always got to ask yourself, what can you do to make this moment better? How can you be more accessible? What can bring the value up in you? Are you satisfied with the giving? Are you satisfied with the delivery? Are you satisfied with the conversations? Who's that's operating in your life? Who makes impact in your life? Who adds value to your life? Not to mention who takes value. Many of us, we mess up when it comes down to who takes value, right? Because when you don't have nobody else to blame, you will blame the one who gives value as the one who takes value. Let me say that again. Some of us, we're babies in the spirit. You have a God that provides everything you need. I believe this because he does it for me. But when you don't appreciate who adds value, God will make them pack up and they will leave. And you will feel the effect of their presence being gone. When you feel that effect of the presence being gone, then you will understand you can't blame them for what they did not give you. It's an inside job. You didn't appreciate the value, so he removed what brought value, and now you feel some type of way because what had value is now gone from your life, right? It's an inside job. Knowledge is information. Information is knowledge. The more you know, the more you grow. We need to make sure that the information sticks. The information checks out. Any information that I'm bringing forth, oh, it sticks, you guys. It sticks, right? So we have to start with knowledge, right? So I want to get in here and I want to flip the script. I'm not going to keep you too long. I do have a few things that I wanted to say. One of the things also that I said earlier that just resonated in my soul is that when you become a friend, you will be a friend in the midst of the people who are friendless. They don't know you. They don't have a relationship with you. They don't care about your kids. They don't care about your financial situation. They don't care about what happened to you. They don't care about your workout. They don't care about your eating. They don't care about you until you care about you. When you care about you, then you will do things about you that will send off this radiant energy, and that's what people draws on to. They draw on to you when you are becoming the best version that you can be, but you should stay away from people that's always knick-knacking and nagging. People that finds the wrong in you. Remember, I told you, when you receive Christ, here's a sign. When you receive Christ, here's a sign. You will become the enemy to those that are around you. Why would you be the enemy? Because you will begin to speak things that's not coming from you. It's coming from the God within you. You will begin to acknowledge how to solve people problems, right? Unfortunately, when you're trying to assist them, they're fighting you. They're rejecting you, right? Because they reject Christ, they reject you. It's all in scripture. But when you understand how it works, then you will access power. What I look to do at this point is give us power. I had this example in my head about a flashlight, right? And what is a flashlight? A flashlight, when you think about it, is when you're in the dark, right? You need a flashlight so you can see. But here's how my illustration of where we are at right now as people and the people that are around you. If this is not you, right, then it's going to be someone else. But I believe if you can identify with this being you, then you can find the area in your life that you can actually cut the lights on, right? The only way if it works is if you work. You might have the flashlight, and it has the title, it has the components, but without a battery, it won't work. And for many of us, we don't have the battery for what we're attempting to do. We want the title, but we don't have the power to power the title. We don't have the power. Let me make it make sense. You have the flashlight. The flashlight only works when you have a battery. The battery determines if the light is going to come on or off. And for some of us, it doesn't matter if you on or off. You don't have no power. Self-empowerment allows you to be present. That's the power that's supposed to power the family, that powers the marriage, that powers the community, that powers the friendship. If you don't have no power, then 9 times out of 10, you looking for somebody else to give you power. And that's why you remain powerless, because it doesn't work like this, right? So I wanted to give you those drops. The first one was knowledge. The second one is understanding. Understanding comes with comprehension. Now I want to go into scripture, and I want to finish off the scenario that gave you guys last week. It was very, very good. I loved it, right? It was in Samuel. I talked from Samuel, 1 Samuel 16, and then I give you a couple of mysteries, give you some nuggets that I discovered, and then I close this broadcast out, and I wish everybody the best, right? As we continue to move forward. Times is changing. There'll be shorter reels, there'll be shorter stories, so I can just come on, give you some little tips, and we keep it moving, because I believe that we all need to grow, but we also need to grow where we don't become outdated outwardly as well, right? Okay, so 1 Samuel 16, I was talking about 1 Samuel 16, and we was talking about last week on how Samuel was talking to God, right? In verse 1, the Lord said to Samuel, how long will you mourn for Saul, right? Since I rejected him as king over Israel. Now, here's the deal. You chose somebody, but God rejected the one you chose. This sounds like us in today's time. If I had to change this message and make it apply for right now, I would say you wanted a job, but God rejected that job for you. Right? Listen to this. You chose the right one. You chose the right one. And the right one you chose, right? And that's the right one. But what you chose rejected you, because you're not ready. I just stated this earlier, is that we want the best. But when we get the best, you ain't asked yourself, are you ready to perform through rainy conditions, through snowy conditions, through drought conditions, through hot conditions? Even when you marry, do you know that there's 2 separate vows, but each one of them say vows, right? The vows for better or for worse. Some of us, we're not ready for the track that we want to run. We're not ready to run the race. Even at the house race, right? The horse race, house race, horse race, same thing in my book. Let's go deeper. We just came off of the Kentucky Derby. And when you on the Kentucky Derby, the track is based on fast, muddy, or the track condition is not based on the horse condition. And what am I saying? I'm saying every time I come on social media, or every time you attack a new day, every time you go to work, you're going to have to make sure the track conditions is suitable. You're going to have to make sure that if the forecast for the weather say that it will be raining, that you have an umbrella, you have your rain boots, you have on a raincoat. If it's going to be snowing, you're going to need snow boots and gloves. If it's going to be hot, you're going to need a tank top and some sunglasses, or you're going to need to stay up out those. You're going to need to be identified with the conditions that you're trying to perform in. Well, what am I saying? Use the basic things that's going on around you to help you in whatever it is that you're attempting to do, to be successful at whatever it is that you're attempting to do, right? So I would say in this condition, God asked Saul, why are you still mourning? Mourning meaning we had a relationship. Mourning meaning I really don't have a problem with this man being king because we're friends, right? Keep in mind, you guys, this broadcast is all over the world. It might be a 13-year-old listening to this broadcast and they just stumbled up on it, right? But it's okay. I need for you to be the adult. I need for you to set the pace, right? Do not be easily distracted by things that's going on. You just got to be focused. Focus requires practice. Stay focused, you guys. Stay focused on you right now, right? Now listen, it says, how long are you going to mourn? That means this was a relationship. Many of us, we find ourselves what? Mourning for our last job, mourning for our last car, right? Things, my last house. I don't want to lose this. But see, sometimes you're going to have to lose something in order to obtain something. You're going to have to lose the way you used to do things. We're going to have to lose the fact that your guard or your walls that was up done trapped you in, done messed you up, done stole your time. And now we have to find out how to bring it down. So he's mourning. Many of us are mourning. Here's an amazing message right now. I'll give it to you in a second. It says, mourning for Saul, since I have rejected him. He didn't say, no, I don't want you to reject him. I still want him. See, it's not about what you think. It's about what God knows. This is God's plan. And when you understand that God's plan is God's plan, then you have no other choice in the matter. So I love this particular scripture because you can see a real person and he's saying, wait a minute, I'm mourning right now. But God knows that he's mourning. He didn't say, God, do you know I'm mourning right now? No, it says, God, ask him how long, meaning your time is ticking and you're wasting time mourning over what was. I used to be this. I used to be that. I'm used to steak and lobster. I'm used to the best. That's not where you at no more. It's time to get to a new place. And maybe in the new place, you're going to get reintroduced to what it is you was introduced to. But for some of us, he done dried it out. It's time to move. It's time to move to a new destination. It's time to change the conversation. It's time, right? Because God rejected the area. He rejected the person. The things that used to reign over you don't reign over you no more, right? The one who used to be over you, right? God rejected them. They're not over you no more. So many of us, what we was under, now God done removed it, and now we're over what we used to be under. Come on now. Some of us, we're still acting like we under something, acting like we a kid, acting like we're waiting on somebody else. You know, we're still writing a note. Do you like me? Yes or no, maybe so, or whatever. Do you want this? We don't even know what this is, right? You're going to have to grow up. You are too advanced. You're too old to be doing this foolishness at this point. Come on now. So watch what God says. God says, since I have rejected him as king over Israel, fill your horn with oil. That means joy. How did his horn get empty? Empty because he was mourning. That means crying. He was crying over what was when he should be crying over what's going to be, right? That's the oil of joy. Many of us, we got oil of joy, but you got to get over what it is that you did not do. And for many of us, you performed poorly. You did not practice. You did not properly prepare yourself. You wasn't ready to go take over. You decided to give up. You decided to give in. You did not give it all you got. This is a year of takeover. Take over meaning I got to take over myself. I got to take over my role. I got to take over my position. And for some of you, you are the definition of the word you're looking for. You got to be the definition. Don't sit here and talk about somebody waiting on you. You have to be the one that ignite what somebody is waiting on. What am I saying? I'm saying the person that was king is not king. Why are they not king? Because God rejected them, meaning he took the power and removed it from them. And many of you, you are powerless in what you participate in right now. You don't have no power at all, and there's new power walking around, and that's what you're scared of. Come on now, light fire right now, because I don't want my fire to go out because I didn't do what I'm supposed to do. I am the fire starter. I'm the one that light a fire when I walk in the room. I make sure that everybody's on fire when I come, right, or when I leave. Here you go, right here. You go in fire, you leave out in fire. Come on, Sister Sonia, stay free. There she goes, stay free. There you go, sucker free. Let's move. Let's move now. Let's move because I got to get this word out, you guys. I have to get this word out. I got an amazing teacher and I'm running behind. So I got to get us caught up. I got to get us up to speed right now. Fill your horn with oil. Be on your way. Listen, on your way. Remember, lean not to your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge who? Higher self, right? That's your God. Higher self. I am my life coach. Meaning it's on me right now. I can't blame nobody at all for why I have not accomplished what I need to accomplish in what I accomplished it in, right? See, there is a task. There is a requirement. And for many of us, we're missing the requirement because that's how it works. And for some of you, we want what we want, but you're missing the requirements. You cannot come demanding anything from anyone when you don't meet the requirements. What am I saying? I'm not saying do they meet your requirements. I'm saying do you meet the requirements of what you're requiring out of who? Out of yourself. Come on, you guys. In order to have an amazing day, the day is amazing. But if you don't have a requirement, meaning I require myself to pray in the morning. I require no one calls my phone before 9 o'clock. I require to make sure I take my vitamins. I work out. This is how you overturn. This is how you reprogram. This is how you burn up old ways. Light your fire right there. You see the requirement. This is a requirement. In order to be on the phone with me and take up my time, if you're not hiring me to give you counseling service, if you're not hiring me for the type of service I provide, then you're taking my time, right? And I have to be good over my time. What am I saying? Requirements. In order for a flashlight to work, it requires 2 or 3 Duracell batteries. It requires a battery. It requires something. But how could you show up and you want to sit here and be mad at something because what's you mad at required? I don't function unless I receive what I'm supposed to have. How many of you can agree that your source and your strength is the Lord? God, Jesus, the Lord and Savior, He's your strength. I can do all things. So if you can do all things, then you're going to have to go through your higher self. See, right, can do what? All things. Through who? Through Christ. It's simply go deeper. Let's go deeper. Somebody said go deeper, so let's go deeper. When you trying to accomplish something, it says go through Christ. But for many of us, before we was married to Christ or even knew about a Christ, we was doing it the way we want to do it. And when you did it your way didn't work. For many of us, this is where we're stuck at right now. This is where we're stagnant at right now. This is where the rebellion fight is taking place right now. Why? Because we have conformed to what we used to do. And now what we used to do is hindering us and it's preventing us from getting to what it is we need to do. Well, let's go deeper again, right? You remember the no weapon formed against who? Against me. Remember, I find value in me. And see, when I connect with someone, what they're trying to give me does not allow me to prosper. So what am I saying? It is considered to be a weapon. Many people who not operating in their full potential, when they will come into your presence, they will be a hindrance to who? To your tomorrow, to your bigger, to your better, to your greater. Why? Because they are forming the weapon and they're trying to hold you back. Holding you back does not allow you to prosper. Okay, let's go deeper a different way. When someone is taking up your time and they're not making it plain and making it simple, you see, they will begin to throw what? The spirit of guilt on you. What is guilt? Guilt is making you feel like it's your problem and I've been waiting, or you're not doing this, or you're not doing that. And that is a spirit right there in itself, right? So they will throw that spirit at you. And if that spirit don't work, right, it has to return back to the one that it came from. And that's what leaves some of us in the position that we are currently in right now. You see, whatever you cook up, if the person doesn't receive it, then it has to return back to the one who released it. And you have to eat something that you wasn't prepared to eat. You have to eat the words that you spit out. Whatever you create, you have to live in it. This is why you have to have a clean heart. You have to have a clean heart, right? I'll prove it in 1 minute, right? I'll prove it in 1 minute. Thank you for whoever told me to go deeper. That's because they understand that when you only can get somebody out the deep if you're willing to go to the deep. Many of us ain't never been to the deep, or somebody that's trying to talk to you. You can't talk to me. Some people can't preach to me. I'm gonna be honest with you. I gotta be honest. They can't preach to me. I'll tell you why. Because they have a family, right? They have a family. They probably have a wife. They got their little kids. They got the nonprofit. They got everything working for them. So their message is just being displayed with me. But for me, I'm on the battlefield. I'm out here hungry. I'm looking like, man, I want family. I'm looking like I need what I need. I'm looking like I want my own business. I got so many needs and wants, but yet I'm listening to somebody that don't have these needs and wants. See, they already have what it is they need. All they got to do is maintain and keep it. But for me, I'm on the front line, PhD, poor, hungry, and I'm driven. See, poor, hungry, and driven for me. That means I can relate to people that's driven. I can relate to people that's hungry. I can relate to people that's poor. Poor means there's some things about me that even though I should take the best, I still accept whatever it is a person has to give me because I can make good on whatever. Okay, I got that? Okay, good. I hope y'all do. Let's go deeper. I got to close this out. I came on late. So listen to this. Listen to this. Let's get back to this word. Refill your oil, go on your way. I am sending you to Jesse's house. For many of you, you didn't know where you're going, right? God has to tell you where you're going. So for some of us, we end up messing up because the one who's giving the direction on where to go, he didn't know where to go until God told him. It's like a GPS. You got in the car, started the car, and I'm going to move on. I'm about to go do whatever I'm about to do, right? The GPS, though, you got to have a coordinate. That lady on that GPS, that little thing, don't start talking until you tell me where you want to go. Many of you, light your fire. We're going to have to turn it up and we're going to have to turn it out on this one. I have chosen one of his sons to be king. This is God's business. Somebody was king And they entered into a relationship with Samuel because he the one that got to anoint him. You see, somebody else got to put you in the position to get you where you need to go. This is why we should be humble, right? He rejected this person. That's cool. So don't ever think you can't be rejected. See, a lot of us, we look at other people and we don't say try the spirit by the spirit, and we want to see Christ, right, on them. We want to see them perform. We want to see them act the way they're supposed to act. We want to see the best of the best. I want to see what God can do. God blow my mind when she come. God blow my mind when he come, right? However it is we want to call it. Blow my mind at my next job. My next salary about to blow my mind, right? The next salary, the next job, my next house, my next trip. It's always moving forward, never moving backward. That's a blessing right there, right? So watch this. Watch this. The one in the middle, right? The one in the middle, Samuel. Samuel now got to go anoint who God already chose, right? This is God's plan. He already chose the king, the next person in line. I didn't ask you about your relationship with them. I told you I got somebody else in mind because they got a bigger purpose. I just pray that some of you understand you got a bigger purpose in life right now. This is the wrong time to get caught up in pleasure right now and experiencing pain and experiencing hurt because you don't want to fix the conditions that you living in and you living out of, and you're not putting out a stronger signal so somebody can pick your signal up. They can know where you at, and when they know where you at, they can get you out. But don't get you out and now you trying to kill them, right? You trying to chop them down because you're not used to being free. You're not used to operating on your own. You're not used to running in rainy condition. That's why you give up. You're not used to running in hot condition. That's why you tap out. That's why you wave your flag. You're not prepared to run this race. And what am I saying is, I'm saying that we got to learn how to balance out in all conditions. Come on now, all conditions, right? So watch this. Look at this. But Samuel said, how can I go if Saul hears? Here, see? Many of you can hear one thing about somebody. Somebody can come on here and tap one foolish comment and it mess your whole system up. It mess your whole spirit up. Like, oh, here we go again. It's like, how do you let someone you don't know throw you off? The only person you should know is God. The only person you should know is your connection. If you got the spirit, then you will be able to see a spirit. But when you can't see a spirit, that don't mean the spirit left them. It can mean the spirit actually left you. You see, Saul was still the king, but he did not know that the spirit left him. See, many of us, we like to look at people and be like, I know you're not here anymore. I could tell. The only reason why you can tell is because the spirit left you. The spirit is still on them. It's just not in you because your ways has corrupted your character. Come on, y'all. I got to go deeper. Let me go deeper. Don't tell me to go deeper, but let me get through this thing right now because I got a message I need to bring forth. So God told Samuel to go. I'll pick out the person, right? Saul said, this person going to kill me. The Lord said, the helper with you God gave him a plan. Told him, I'll be with you on your plan. This is where the practice comes in at. You have to practice your plan. I'm not going to tell you that I'm just going to speak worldly and not going to give you no spiritual content. I believe the spiritual content is the best content. The worldly is the wisdom, right? There's worldly wisdom. There's several types of wisdom, but I wanted to say wisdom for last. So I want to let you know we're still walking around understanding. That's comprehension. That's why I'm giving you this message right now, because I need you to comprehend what's going on right now, right? So check this out. When he arrived, Saul saw someone, as I recapping last week, and the one that he saw was not the one that God had chosen, right? God also said in verse 17, verse 7, but the Lord said to Samuel, do not consider his appearance or his height, right? For I rejected him. This is why we get in trouble. There are certain things that God rejected. Don't eat that food. I rejected that. That's not in your diet plan. I rejected that conversation. I rejected those type of thoughts. I rejected those unwholesome conversations. I rejected those things. And yet we wants to do it anyway. For many of us, this is where we mess up a lot at. because I'm here to tell you, if we can fix anything, we got to be open and we got to be honest. We got to be honest about where we at right now. We got to be honest. No, I don't really want to be by myself, but I need to recognize that if somebody going to keep me, and if I'm a keeper, then I need to give them a reason to want to put their hands on me. I need to give them a reason to want to hold on to me. But one thing I can tell you, two things for sure. Don't try to hold on to something when you ain't got the value in yourself to make them want to hold on to you. Come on now. Holding on to you can hurt you. You get what I'm saying? Holding on, somebody holding you back can steal from where you're going. Come on now. Don't you become loyal to something that ain't loyal to you. Well, what am I saying? Why would it be loyal to you? It'll be loyal to you when you become you. You see, I give it all I got, so I'm loyal to the position and the role that I play each and every day. Everywhere I go, I have to be the best me. I don't have no other choice. I'm loyal to that position. Why? Because I, Adonis D. Johnson, do not want God to reject me. I can't take that. God, please don't reject me. Don't reject me for my foolishness. Don't reject me for what I've done. You told me to go right. Yes, I went left. You told me to shut up. Yes, I kept talking. God, I have an issue that I need some help with. See, I got to be honest with myself in order to help myself. You see, in order to get healing, I got to realize I've been sick. I'm sick in some area. I'm sick of my own self. I'm sick of myself getting wet. Why am I upset? I should be happy. I should be the light. But for many of us, your light been put out, not by somebody else, by you, because you are underperforming. God is requiring more of you. He accepts you as you are, but is not intended for you to stay as you are. And that's what we need to understand. You don't get in his presence and think you're going to be the same person and you're going to walk out. No, there is a transformation. This is a transformation line. I am a transformation coach. I made my transformation. Many people made their transformation. Light your fire if you can testify that there's a transformation you done made. Even when you went from first grade to second grade or second grade to third grade, by the time you got to eighth grade, you was walking across the stage. You should light your fire for that right there, because once you left that stage, it was on to a new school. That was a new level. And on this new level, in this new school, there was new rules and there was new regulation with new teachers, right? And guess what? You went 4 grades in that direction. And once you got the 4 grades, 4 years, it took 4 years just to get out of high school. Do you hear me? Some people can't go to college for 2 years just to get an associate's, but you go through 4 years just to get through high school. Come on now. I wish my high school people can help my college people, because it's the same thing. You did 8 years in grammar school, 4 years in high school, and can't do a half a semester in college. What's wrong with us? Level up, level up. We give up. And the moment we give up, we do the exact same thing in every area. It's a trickle effect, right? It's not balanced. It's a trickle effect. If you give up over here, you started, but you don't complete. Even when you complete, you act like that it's always growing. Everything grows except a stone. You got that, right? Light fire for that. So let's go deeper and let's go and cut up out this thing. So here's God calling, right? Listen to this. Then when the Lord chose, hold on one second, I get you right here, right? 7 past Samuel, but listen, verse 10. Verse 10, come on, you guys. Stay with me. Samuel 1:16, let's talk. Scripture, flipping the script. Verse 10, Jesse had 7 of his sons pass before Samuel. But Samuel said to him, the Lord has not chosen none of these. Stop right here. Open up your ears. Open up your mind. Open up your heart. 7 people came past. That's almost like you dating 7 people. This could be the one. Nope, that ain't it. Here go another. Nope, that ain't it. Met somebody at the gas station. Nope, somebody say go deeper. Let's go deeper. 7 means completion. For many of you, you done had 7 times to operate as you should, and you still have not operated at your fullest capacity. You give a little, so you got a little. You give a little, so you attracted a little. You only can attract according to who you are, not who they are. Come on now. If you only used to a little money, like a couple thousands, then if you had somebody give you millions of dollars, you will lose the millions of dollars because you only have a mindset for a little. Right? You ain't used to, you didn't acquire no wealth, so you will lose the wealth that was given to you. What am I saying? If you don't teach your children, if you don't teach the people around you how to do business, how to invest in what you want, in order to have a successful business, you got to be willing to invest in what you believe in. Come on now. I just fixed your whole relationship situation. Many of you don't need a psychiatry. You don't need a psychiatrist for this. I'm giving it straight to you. You got to invest in what you want to have value in. But for many of us, we want to take value from something we didn't even give value. So you done messed something up already. You show up waiting to take from. How you show up in something and already you making withdrawals. You never put nothing in. That's why what you participate in is considered to be poor. It's considered to be poor because it wasn't properly built, right? So let's go a little bit deeper, because I got a sleepy spirit around me right now, and I don't want those spirits to transfer. I got to make sure I rebuke every demon, every unwholesome, every wicked spirit, any spirit, a lacking spirit, a procrastinating spirit, a sleepy spirit. I cancel it out. I come against your sleepy spirit. Come on, you guys, light fire for that right there. I got yawning going on around me. I got to sit here and break off these chains right now for that thing try to jump on me. Let's go deeper, right? Let's make it move. Let's make it move. Listen to this. 7 people, 7 sons passed, all eligible, but God never chose none of them. See? Never chose. The Lord has not chosen one. Why is it the Lord? Because the Lord is my shepherd. When you're looking for a head, you're looking for somebody that got the Lord. Now, I wanted to bring this message special back to us today because I needed people to understand. Remember, I just said you should be looking for Christ in somebody else, but the friend in me done became the enemy to you because you done found a friend in me, meaning you found Christ in who I am. But the Christ in who I am somehow, some way, challenge you, ask you questions. Now I'm sitting here telling you, what is you going to do to make yourself better? How you going to get yourself to another level? Hey, I'm good the way I am. Accept me for who I am. Why you trying to change me? That's the spirit that comes in to kill Christ. You see, the friend in me that became an enemy to you. Come on, y'all. You are a friend. Do you hear me? But you're going to have to be a friend to the friend list. Don't expect you out of somebody else. Don't expect you out of somebody else if you can't even, some people ain't even learned about themselves. I love who I am. I love myself so much that it's hard for me to even share me with somebody else. But the scripture says, love yourself like you love somebody else. So I got to love me first. So when I hand it to you, and if you ain't handling it right, I take it back. Because I see value in that. Don't you throw my food away. When I take my time and make some food, you hear me? And that food is good. You ain't eating that? Oh, let me get that. Let me scrape that up off that plate. You don't go to RPM Steakhouse. Okay, let's go deeper. You don't get that steak. And you please give me a doggy bag, take this to go. Because the bill, the cost, the cut. You see, when you have value, somebody called me, they told me like, hey, I do have some Michael Kors purses, right? And some Coach bags. They said, I got to sever one of them. Let's be clear. But I can get me a Chanel and a Louis. And I said, I get it. But it's time to get rid of your coaches now. It's time to get rid of all them horses. Listen to the word coach. Anything like a horse, get rid of that. That's a stage coach. Okay? Custom made. One of a kind. God ready to elevate every last one of us. That's why you light your fire and nobody light it for you. When you got fire, you got heat, that's so that God can be seen in what you're doing. I'll prove it to you. Watch this. Let's close it out. Oh, yeah. Let's close it out, you guys. Here we go. And I got to give you one message, and that's the end. So watch this. Let me finish this real quick. So it says, I did not choose none of them, just chose them. Okay. There is still the youngest son. Remember, 7 walked past. None of them was the one. This the one. This is who God sent me. That ain't the one who God sent you. This who God sent me. That ain't the one who God. None of them there. Ain't nobody else. This is what some of us are at right now. You by yourself. I ain't with nobody. I ain't this here. God still made a order. He said, go to this house and somebody out of this house that belongs to this man is going to be anointed. Now, 7 is the only ones that's in this house. 7 done went past and none of them ain't this person, right? This means we here like, God, you told me to be here. Where you at? See, God ain't showed up in your relationship yet. You got to hold on. See, some of you run before God comes. He said, hold on, right? Watch this. Watch this. So he said, my youngest, he said, somebody ain't here. Jesse said, so he asked Jesse, are these all the sons you have? He said, they're still the youngest. See, some of us, reason why it's taking us a long time is because we had some childish ways. We had childish ways. Y'all get this? Now, maybe this ain't for y'all. Sonya, you know, when I hit something, I'm on fire. We had childish ways. It took some time for us to grow up now. That's why you ain't partying like you used to. You went too hard before you didn't space out your going hard. You did it all and then some. And now you can't move like that no more, right? So God said, see, the sons represent Christ. So it was 7 already. Let's just say they had Christ. Is anybody else, right, that can be king? Because all 7 might done reigned already. But it's somebody else's turn. It's somebody else's turn. And the one who turned it he was a child. And he wasn't even invited to the banquet. See, some of you ain't invited to where the millionaires is at. You ain't invited to where the real husband's at. You was over there partying at the tavern. You know what I'm saying? You was down there at the college parties, okay? Getting you a college awakening, okay? You was over there at the church singles ball dance, okay? You was at the church single ball dance, okay? And that is a terrible mess right there. What am I saying? I'm saying you've been at the wrong spots, okay? There's a place that your name about to come up at. I don't care where you been. You wasn't in the right room. You wasn't with the right people. The wrong people was listening to your broadcast, but the right one finna pick up your broadcast. Somebody is about to sit here and they about to reach me. They about to find me. Why? Divine connection. What am I saying? I'm saying the power from me is going out into the universe. If it's going out for me, then it's going out for you too. What am I saying? God is giving us an anointing of wealth right now in this period of time. And in this period of time, either you finna locate it or it's about to locate you. But what am I saying? I'm saying this is comprehension. This is understanding based on the knowledge and the information. I can understand and I definitely comprehend that it's about to get better for me. And if it's getting better for me, then it got to get better for everybody else. Come on now, light your fire right here. I close out AJ the wildfire. Watch this, because we got one word we got to get to. It's called wisdom. Wisdom is application. Wisdom is how it works. And for many of us, we have no idea on how this works. But I told you guys, I believe that it works. I believe that it works. I don't know if you believe this or not, but for those that's lighting fires, they can confirm right now that it actually works. It's about to get better. Well, watch this, right? Either you about to locate it or it's going to find you. That's the power that's being turned on in you today, you guys. I want to say your time is not going to be overlooked. Your obedience is greater. Why is it greater? It's greater because you know that you got to find out how this thing works. Application. Imagine having a phone, but you ain't got no apps on it. Imagine having a GPS system, but your system don't work. It don't cut on. Imagine having a flashlight with no batteries. It ain't working. Imagine sitting here having a relationship, but you ain't got Christ. This is how they in here looking for somebody who Christ is about to enter into. You want the next best thing. The radio want the next best song. The movie want the next best artist or actor, right? We want the next best shoe. You want the next best hairdo. You want the next best. And guess what? For many of you, your wedding should be the next best wedding. You want it because you got to first build it in your mind first. You got to recognize before you even have a wedding and decide how it's going to be, you got to decide how you going to be. You're going to have to make sure finances is already ready. You're going to have to make sure that your voice and your tone, your passion, your compassion, it's all in place. Listen, your passion and compassion. That means I'm compassionate about what's going on with you. My compassion for you and your loss and all those things. Come on, mental health. Watch this, you guys. Look at this. It says, excuse me, is there anybody else? You got any other sons? Imagine I done brought out my best pick. And the father says, I had well, my youngest one, he ain't ready yet. Childish. That's you and me, right? Watch this. The youngest, Jesse answered, he is tending to who? He's tending to sheep. Sheep is people that's not ready, that's following other people. He's over here working with people that's feeding sheeps, right? He over here playing with sheeps right now. When it's time for this man to make power moves, it's time for this man to open up new centers, build new schools, build new communities, start new businesses, entrepreneur. I'm building a house from the ground. It's time for this man to be in a Lambo. It's time for this man to sit here and have a Rolls Royce. It's time for this woman to own her own businesses and don't want for nothing but God. But God, I don't want for God. When I have God, I just learn how to listen to him. The youngest is over here with sheep, you guys. You got to get this. Sheep is one of the dumbest animals on earth, okay? Because they need somebody to direct them and tell them where to go. That's why they walk around saying, yeah, right? Like Sexy Red, right? Throw that girl, throw that right. They doing that, right? Okay. That was my little joke. Look at this. There is the youngest. Jesse answered. He is tending to the sheep. Samuel said, send him. See, some of you would have heard the word youngest. Oh, he ain't got no money? Oh, he's still home with his mama? Oh, he ain't, I can't do nothing with that, right? See, you are so easily distracted. They will come on this broadcast, see somebody post something special and be like, oh man, they cutting up on his broadcast. It's messy. See, God sent you to the house, but you thought because you got here, you supposed to be the one to determine what's messy. Come on, man. God birthed Jesus out of a messy, dirty place, okay? Messy meaning we had to come on this broadcast just to get a free message. Did you hear me? You came on this broadcast just to get deliverance. You thought it was going to be in a big old sanctuary. You thought it was going to be in a cathedral. You thought it was going to be in a temple. You thought it was going to be in some mosque or some synagogue. You thought it was no. It's going to be on this. You're going to be on this broadcast on the Mighty Monday Meltdown 2.0. I Am My Life Coach 2. That's the key to get up out this thing. And watch this. Watch this. Samuel, send him. I don't care how young he is. We will not sit down until he arrives. Listen to me. God is not showing up. Sonia, Sister Sonia, light your fire. Sister Sonia, please light fire for this. God is not showing up. And nobody gets to sit down until you arrive. That's where your wedding is on hold. Your marriage is on hold. Your money is on hold. Your next level is right. It's already ready. But we ain't sitting down until you have the right attitude about what you need to do, who you need to become, why you need to become it, when you need to become it. And the time is now. You need to get yourself together. Mike, I Am My Life Coach Mental Health. This is what I'm trying to express to you. This will not happen until Christ, bigger, better, greater, arrives. Okay, let me make it deeper for you. Until you understand what this word means, I am my ownership, life, don't nothing happens for you. Until you understand that I am my life coach. Because God has to bless you when you become you. And when you become you, then that's when the wedding about to take place. I close out on this one little line here. It says, so send him when he get here. We ain't starting this thing until he arrives. So he sent for him. Stop right here. Remember, Samuel had to come and anoint something. So somebody was coming. Somebody had to go send for them and say, hey, you being summoned right now. See, this go deeper. Lord have mercy. Come on, special. Why y'all keeping me here like this? Send for me, right? That's a prayer. God, send somebody to come and get me. God, send some people, send some help. Divine connection. Because the one that's coming to get you, know they coming to get you. But see, the problem is you fighting them. And they can't get to you if you got your walls up. Your walls is up and it's blocking out the one he's sending to come get you. But when he come get you, that ain't because you the prize. They coming to get you because it's your time and your name is being called. It's time to get the anointing. It's time to get in position. It's time to take the seat. It's time to make the call. What call you need to make? That you about to put your best foot forward. What call you about to make? That I'm about to be good over every dime God gives me. What call am I about to be making? That I'm about to sow in who I know gonna be prosperous. You see, the Proverbs woman, right? It says the Proverbs 31 woman, it says she saw a land win. That means when she saw it to be profitable, and she sold everything else, meaning it was her responsibility to get rid of everything else. And for some of you, you still holding on to everything and everything else, and that's what's hindering you, because your attention is over here, your attention is over here, your attention is on there, and their attention is over there, and everything. God can't sit here. He don't figure out who you want God to talk to if he can't talk to you. So I had to cut off this person. I had to cut off that area. I had to remove myself from religion. I had to take myself from the school. I had to remove myself from this business. And I had to come back. God, you gave me this. I give it back to you. I dare you give God back what God has given you. I dare God, you gave me an opportunity and I messed it up. If you want to be honest, this is how healing comes. You can't get healed until you realize you've been sick. You can't get free until you realize you've been trapped. I would rather say I'm trapped. I would rather say something got a hold on me. But God, whatever has a hold on me, come on now, release me from that hold. Because I know I was meant to flourish. I was meant to move forward. I was meant to roll. I was meant to fly. But something is holding me back. Come on now. God, I can't see it, but you can. God, release me now. Come on now. If I can't release it, God, let it release me. Thank you, Jesus. Come on, y'all. Let it release me. Oh, yeah, that's how that works. Release me so that I can do what I need to do. Now, watch this. So, he sent for him and had him brought in. Listen to this. He was glowing with health. Uh-oh. Health and wealth goes together. He was glowing. That means this man came in like, what y'all want? Don't y'all know I was busy? With health. Health meaning he didn't have no sick ways. He wasn't poisoned by other people's problems. He wasn't responsible for anybody other than them sheeps that was out there needing some assistance and some help. This is who God chose. He didn't say, he didn't say, well, what I'm being chosen for? Why I gotta be chosen? I mean, what's this job consist of? I mean, I had plans. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. No. See, by himself and got chosen. Ain't that something? By himself, Sonya, and got chosen. There go the fire from Sonya. Now we blessed now. That's the one who blessing us right there. Sister Sonya Campbell, that's the one who's blessing us on this broadcast. Y'all see we ain't getting no foolishness no more, right? Because the right one lit the right fire, and that fire will burn down everything that is not of God. Come on, y'all, watch this. Look at this. He was glowing with health and had a fine appearance. A fine. Do you know what it means to drink fine wine? Do you know what it means to have fine VVS diamonds? Do you know the grade of a steak and the grade of a diamond? Grade A, grade B, grade C. What grade are you? You remember when we was in school, you got graded for conduct, A, B, C, D, or F, you failed, right? Conduct. They graded you based on what they saw. And some of you still under the same code of conduct. The same code that you judge things based on what you see. And Christ is saying you got to get rid of that so you can base things off of what you know. Your God sent you there. Your God sent you there. Your God sent you there. Why? So somebody else can put the anointing on you. Come on now. You anointed to be what you ain't even yet. But you got the anointing, but you missing the wisdom. Ain't never been over nobody, and yet you getting the oil. Ain't never been a wife, but yet you getting the oil to be one. Yet you anointed to be a husband, but you ain't had one marriage yet. You hear what I'm saying, you guys? Anointed for something, but you got to wait for your time or you're going to miss this banquet. Watch this. His appearance and had handsome features. Like the features was amazing, right? Now watch this. Then the Lord said, notice, then the Lord been talking to Samuel all this time. But this conversation didn't come until he arrived. Then the Lord said, come on, y'all. He didn't say that, but come on, y'all. Then the Lord said, rise. People ask me, how you doing today? I say, I'm rising. Rise and anoint him. Rise and anoint your coach. Rise and anoint that I am my life coach. Rise and anoint him. This is the one. This the one I need to be. This the one I've been working on. This the one that did all this work behind. I learned my lesson. I will not repeat what I already know. And that's how I'm able to say I am my life coach today, and moving forward, you able to say I am my life coach too. Why? Because knowledge is information, understanding is comprehension, and wisdom is application. Rise and anoint him. This is the one. So Samuel took the oil and anointed him. Samuel did what God said. David never said one word. Anoint him in the presence of his brothers. Imagine God elevating you in the presence of everybody that didn't get chosen. No wonder why everybody upset, because you could have chose me, because the brother have every right to be upset at him. He was never chosen. He was young. He was little. He was all out here doing little childish things, dealing with sheep. We out here strong and buff. We got more money than him. He ain't done nothing. And yet God said, anoint him. This is the one. And in the presence of his enemies, in the presence, whoo, you better get ready, y'all. Put your armor on. Next message gonna be about putting that armor on, because the war about to break out now. Today we becoming anointed. Listen to this. In the presence of his brothers. Listen to this. I'm done, you guys. Listen to this. You can give off the broadcast if you want to, but for my those that knows how I do it, right? I need something. I probably need this more than you. You can get off if you need to. I need this probably more than you. Listen, the message is the message. I'm just flipping the message. Tony, what up, my boy? Man, peace and blessings. This man got anointed in the presence of brothers. Okay? This is huge, because the problem is that I wasn't even invited. Many of us, we gonna receive an unknown, unexpected blessing. You don't need to know why, but you definitely need to know what you need to do now. See, worldly wisdom is very important. Look at this. Look at this, y'all. I say this line. In the presence of, from that day on. See, some of you let people run you backwards. I've been this way for 5 years. I've been this way for a year. I've been this way for 3 years. And if you just took yourself back 3 years, then you ain't got no growth. Who told you to look back? I want to see what you look like 3 years from now. It's about going forward. 3 days from now, you got a better chance than talking about how you going to look 3 days from now. Some of us, we're sick and we need to be healed. At least I do. There's some areas that done went under attack. There's some areas in my life that's damaged. There's some hurt that I need to deal with. I was afflicted by some people that done me dirty and wrong still to this day and time. Not that I did harm intentionally to them, but since I continue to, Sister Sonia, since I continue to grow, since I continue to develop, then you end up outgrowing people and you start losing taste for ramen noodles and ravioli. Come on now. I'm desiring something more right now. My taste buds is shifting right now. I don't want salty food. You hear me? I need to make sure that everything that I do is healthy for me first and where I'm going. And I know for some of you, this is the message for you right now. So Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the presence of his brother. And from that day on, the Spirit, notice he did not have the Spirit. David did not have the Spirit. Many of you did not have the Spirit. You was you. You been you. But guess what? From that day forward, the Spirit of the Lord, higher self, came powerfully. Light your power and your fire. Light your fire and light your power. You see, the Spirit of the Lord came powerfully. Why? Because the Spirit is already here. It's already been here. But if you don't have access, you cannot access something until the access is granted. I believe today, access is granted. I believe today we own to something new. I believe today wisdom is about to play its part. Okay, I'm feeling something deeper now. Let's go to, let's close out on this one. Let's go to James, right? Forget all that. I got to make sure God get the glory out of all of this. Let's go to James, right? James is the first book I ever read in the Bible. The whole book at that, right? Look at this, man. This is amazing right here. Let's go to James, right? Now watch this. Watch this. Let's go deeper. Uh-oh, get that up off of here. Okay, watch this, you guys. James, yes, Lord. Thank you, God. We calling a timeout. You guys, we at the end of this thing right now. We at the end of something amazing, right? Oh my God, I can't find it. Yes, Lord. I've been watching this thing all day and I'm struggling finding it. But anyway, gotta find this word for you guys. This is amazing. Okay, since I can't find it in James, since it won't happen in James, I got a backup for us. Let's do a backup. Go to First Colossians 1. First Colossians 1. I want to teach right now. I wanted to go to James. Might have been James. Wait. Uh-oh. James 3. I just located it. Go to James 3. Yes, God. So I thank you, God, for giving us everything we need right now. You guys, we closing out, but pay attention to this. James 3, verse 13. There's two types of wisdom. This says two types, but there's really four types. See, for many of us, you was taught to pray for wisdom. Ask God for wisdom. Remember, I took you guys to discover the spirit, right? The spirit of wisdom, right? Now watch this. Never knew nothing about this. Earthly wisdom is experience. That's what I was told. This experience. Application. Look at this. James 3:13. Who is wise and understanding amongst you? Understanding is comprehension. Who is wise, meaning you understand how it works. I told you guys, you finna get this. Watch this. Let them show it by their good life, by deeds done in the humility. See, I know I ain't getting what I'm supposed to get out of the people around me, but I'm giving the best I got. I'm not basing what I give based on what they don't. Come on now. I don't give them according to what they give me. That's humility, you guys. That comes from what? Wisdom. What is wisdom? An application. It's either you got it or you don't. You either got the heart or you don't. You either understand or you don't. Now watch this. But if you harbor bitter, that means some of y'all better listen to this now. Hold on. You're going to have to listen to this one. I got to give y'all this one. I'm feeling the spirit move in a mighty way. I'm trying to get through it. Yay. Here it comes. It says, but if you harbor, do you know harbor meaning it's a ship, right? And you harbor meaning you parking, you're stuck on your past. You stuck on what done happened to you. You stuck on what they did to you. And that's why you can't do what God is telling you to do. That's why you can't rise. That's why you can't set sail. Because you are harboring on old and you can't get something new. So Christ comes and say, take off the old, put on a new mind, no, you want to take on a new individual. You want to take on a new counterpartner, as if that changed you. Come on now. No. This is an inside job. I cancel all of those strategies you trying to run. You gonna get this work today. Let's go deeper. It says, if you harbor on bitter envy. Do you know what envy means? Envy means somebody else got chosen and I didn't. Envy means they got something that I don't have. Envy means God blessed them and didn't bless me. Meaning I don't even want what they got. I should have got that. I could have been with them. I could have had them. You want to have something that somebody else got an opportunity with now. Come on now. I already had them. That's my ex. I already had them. That's my leftovers. That is not your leftovers. Let's be clear. If that is your leftovers, then guess what? God promoted them to something bigger, better, greater. You are the leftover. You hear what I'm saying? You've been left over, and some of us done got rolled over. But God, I'm left over. You right. People left over me, jacked over me, walked over me. They cast me down and left me for dead. You hear me? So yes, you're right. I tried to get in the rhythm, but my rhythm wasn't hitting at that time. My stuff that I was selling was not on the market at that time. I was outdated. People wasn't ready for the type of spirit that I actually had. Come on now. So watch this. It says right here, it says, if you harbor bitter envy and selfish ambition, what about me? What are you going to do for me? How this going to work for me? Sister Sonya just hit it. Ego, ease God out. Selfish ambition. Y'all ain't never read this before. This is application here. In what? In your heart. What is your heart? Isn't it not your lower self? Isn't it not your subconscious mind? That hurt, that defeat that you done took on, them L's that you done got thinking you all that? That's your heart. If you hold on to all this, do not boast about it. I've been through a lot. My walls is up. It just said don't boast about it. What you do? You boast about it. I done been through this before. I'm tired of waiting, right? You tired of waiting on who? The Lord to show up? I never get tired of waiting on God. Do you hear me? He say, be not weary in what? In well doing. For your joy gonna come when? In the morning. But when it do, you should be already ready to rock and roll. But some of you done got tired. Listen to this. Or deny the truth, Sister Sonia. It says it, do not boast about it or deny the truth. The truth is it's about to get better for me. The truth is I'm about to be restored. The truth is life ain't really bad. The truth is God got me. The truth is I'm ready. I'm rejuvenated. The truth is I'm powering up right now. The truth is everything is where it's supposed to be. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. My name is about to be anointed. My name is called by the one that's calling me. Come on now. And he's calling me higher. Here you go right here. It says, such wisdom, right? Deny the truth. Such wisdom, see that wisdom? Does not come from heaven, but is earthly, as Sister Sonia said. That's earthly wisdom. There go one wisdom. Unspiritual. There go two wisdom. Demonic. There go three wisdom. Do you understand? Earthly wisdom, demonic wisdom, unspiritual wisdom. That's three types of wisdom that some people are fighting right now. And this is what you up against. That is what's installed. You installed it. We got to figure out how to uninstall it, right? Uninstall that wisdom for where you have envy and selfish ambition. There you find disorder. There you find disorder. There you find disorder. Disorder leads to discomfort. Discomfort leads to disease. Disease, right? Disorder, discomfort, disease is in a certain area in your life. And that right there comes from either earthly wisdom. I know I can do better than my mom. I'm better than this. I deserve to be. Unspiritual wisdom, demonic wisdom. For where you find this self-ambition, you find disorder in every evil practice. Practice? You mean tell me we practicing the wrong thing? You practicing the wrong thing? Wow. And I'm telling you to practice the right thing. Told y'all. Verse 17, but the wisdom that comes from heaven is first of all pure. Earthly wisdom does not work. This is the form of wisdom. It comes from God and is pure. Then it's peace. Then it's loving. Then it's considerate. Then it's submissive. It's open. It's submissive. You mean to tell me people are not submissive because they lack the wisdom of God? Yay. Submissive, full of mercy. You mean to tell me wisdom is full of mercy, application, and good fruits? That means you can eat on what they got to say all day long. You just listen, right? Go on, talk. Say some more. You see that look? When God is talking, you can be like, go ahead. No, you don't rush. You ain't got to rush. Light your fire, y'all. Put your fire on. Light your fire. Look at that. Sister Sonia, Sister Sonia was talking at 1 o'clock this morning, 1 a.m. It was 1 a.m. We on the phone. She prayed me to sleep. Okay, I'm falling asleep. But when I woke up, 45 minutes later, she was holding the phone saying, you woke? Put me to sleep praying for me. When I woke up, she was still holding her position. You woke? Okay, yeah, I'm woke. Go on and get you some sleep. That's what she said. She held her position. Come on now, how many people you got in your life that's going to hold their position even when you fall off? Come on now, it's your job to do what it is you need to do. There you go. In closing, verse 17, wisdom that comes from heaven is first all pure. All pure means all pure. Not partially pure, not this pure. Every thought is pure. I don't see wrong because I don't look to do wrong. Come on, y'all. Then peace, then loving, considerate, submissive, full of mercy, good, fruits, impartial, and sincere. Peacemakers who sow in peace reap a harvest of righteousness. How many peacemakers are on this broadcast right now? Can you light your fire for the peacemakers? I think God is calling us to be peacemakers in the seasons ahead. Big ups to the peacemakers. Come on, y'all. Light your fire. Light your fire for the peacemakers. We are peacemakers, man. We ain't got time for that foolishness. Light your fire. We peacemakers. It says, who sow in peace. I don't want no problems. I just want to sow. I just want to sow good. People can't handle my good. They want to stain my character. Acting like I'm hurting them because I'm sowing peace. I come in peace. And guess what? Jesus Christ said, you better leave in peace. I call all your peace back to you. I call everything back into alignment. I call everything back into alignment. We are in position. We are being called to be the peacemakers. We are the peacemakers. That don't mean that we got to take foolishness now. Peacemakers don't mean we off track and we just going to be, no, we ain't no punks now. So we 10 toes down. Let's be clear. Peacemakers mean I don't do anything that's going to interrupt my position. I am my life coach. 10 toes down. I ain't finna sit here and put myself in no condition that gonna hinder or compromise my tomorrow or anybody else that stands with me. To God be the glory. Yeah. Listen, that is so. Thank y'all for this time. I appreciate y'all for spending time. Took me a minute to get there, but I told you, knowledge, information. A lot of people have a lot of information. Right? Information. We in an information age. Google, tell me this, Google this, that. We're in an information age. So time is being affected because we're dealing with digital. We're dealing with digital currency, digital what? We're dealing with artificial intelligence. We're dealing versus supernatural intelligence. So we're dealing with digital intelligence, supernatural intelligence, artificial sugar, cane sugar, real sugar. We dealing with artificial people, AI, right? Artificial intelligence versus your human intelligence. And your human intelligence, someone, well, I didn't go to school. Don't worry about it. That's education. We talking about something that hits to the core. That means when it comes down to you, God provides for you wisdom. With that wisdom, the wisdom of God. I pray that God gives you the wisdom of God. What is the wisdom of God? The wisdom of God is the application to how it works. And when you understand, it only works if you work. Don't question it, question you. Why aren't you working to labor into what it is that you look and desire to participate in? That's how you enjoy the fruits of your labor. Your labor is attached to you. You have to labor. And when you step back, just like God did, you have to be the one to say, that's good. He did not say, walk up and see something else and say, ooh, that's good. Whatever you saying that's good, somebody else did the labor. You didn't work this. God just gave you this. Somebody abandoned this. If you see value, then you have to sell everything else and buy into this of what's been given to you. But wisdom will make you lose it because God gives it, but wisdom is how you keep it. See, you can get it, but you need to keep it. And many of you, that's why we can't hold the position because your wisdom don't allow you to hold your position. So soon as you go in, you come out and you lose it. Then you got to run back in. Hey, run back out and you lose it again. Wisdom, you gonna hold on to it now and you're gonna realize God has put me over money. I ain't gonna never be broke financially another day of my life. Moving forward, I will make better choices and decisions. So help me God. And that's why he sends the divine connection because I said, so help me God. So help me God. There is a me, but I realize the me need the help from God. And that's why I said, so help me God. And what am I doing? I'm outside of me talking to who? To God on behalf of who? Of me. And that's what I'm telling you right now. Gather yourself, pull yourself back together, identify with where you at, to be honest with your God, speak that thing. Speak that thing. If you sick, then ask for the healing. Don't sit here talking about, I ain't finna have nobody speaking over me. Listen, if they can speak this, then you can speak that. The problem is you need to understand, stop rejecting this, accept this, but ask for that. God, if I'm in this position, if this is the case, then help me get to a new case. God, if I'm in where I'm at, right? And this is my grade. God, please give me an upgrade right now because I've been here too long, right? See, some of us, you're not asking for the right thing. That's why you're not moving. You're not growing. You need to ask. See, speak that thing as not. You ask not. You have not because you ask not. You keep asking for something else and you ain't asking for something in you. God, give me more of me. Show me more about me that I need to do in order to activate my next level of living. It's not going to activate until you get there. It's not going to activate until you ready. And the problem is we ain't trying to get ready. We going to stay down here with the hoodlums and whatever else that's called. Peace and blessings, man. I done used a lot of time. Y'all know I could have really went in on this thing, but I felt like this was more about something I needed right now. I needed to see a breaking right now. I needed to understand wisdom is application. Understanding is comprehension. And many of us, we don't understand how it works. So if we don't understand how it works, and some of us, we need wisdom. That's the application. We need to know how this is going to work. How are you going to pay these bills on this little salary? No, you got to do something else. You got to look at what keep making you fall and fix the fall. You the one who falling, but you blaming somebody else for leaving you because you keep falling. Why are you wearing high heels, trying to walk in high heels, trying to run in high heels? You are going to fall. So when you fall, you can't blame the shoes that you put on. That's wisdom. Wisdom is, why would we sit here and act like this gonna work when it ain't gonna work? We don't have what it takes to work, right? So this won't work. Let's find something that will. That's called wisdom. Thank you, Sister Sonia. Call those things to be not as though they were. See, to be not, meaning call those things. See, you gotta call it for what it is. Then speak for the healing for it. Call it for what it is. You know what? I see you this, but I need you to be that. Call it for what it is. We want to be like, I ain't gonna call him. Praise God, man. Thank y'all. Peace out. That's our time, man. We really did this one. And don't forget, you guys, moving forward in June, I'm gonna be every other week, but I'll put up posts. Sister Sonia gonna probably be doing a lot of these broadcasts. I gotta invite her on. The team told me I need to have a co-host. Sister Sonia gonna be a co-host. I'm gonna have a couple other people on here until y'all get this thing right, and we're gonna keep this message moving throughout the universe. Peace and blessings. Thanks.